Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to our third and final day of LAVIS 3 and C-Call 70. As we did on Thursday and Friday, we have created a sheet with program changes that you can pick up at the registration desk. Our special focus for today is in the spirit that has motivated the discipline of sociolinguistics from the beginning, as discussed by Bill Above and by Walt Wolfram, and that Wolfram has described in terms of the principle of linguistic gratuity. We have a responsibility to give back to the communities that we study. We have arranged the program today so that it includes sessions on topics that will be of interest to our colleagues in K-12, and then, with the help of faculty here at the University of Alabama and the Department of English and the College of Education, we have supplemented those sessions with workshops oriented to the teaching of grammar in the language arts curriculum and to program models and strategies for working with language minority students in mainstream ESL classes. Education budgets are tight here in the state of Alabama at the present time, and we are acting in the spirit of the mission of the University of Alabama of service to the community and to the state. Both the Tuscaloosa City Schools and the Tuscaloosa County Schools have approved the program today for professional development hours for their teachers. In fact, K-12 educators are here from all over the state, some of them driving several hours to attend. We have created a special Saturday program for you, which you should all have received, which has a recommended sequence of sessions as well as a professional development hours form inside. Our plan is that we will use a stamp to certify the sessions that you attend, and then I will sign the form when you leave. We will have people authorized to stamp at each recommended session, and then I will return to the registration desk between sessions to sign forms for people who need to leave at various times. You can identify me by my peach-colored jacket. In principle, this plan should work, so we'll see how it goes. Also, I just want to mention that if you've seen the t-shirts we've had designed by a local business, and you like them, you may order them. There's a form, and they're sent to you for a total cost of $12. To welcome us to the University of Alabama today is Dr. Hank Lazar, Assistant Vice President in the Office of Academic Affairs, in charge of undergraduate programs and services. Dr. Lazar is also a colleague of mine in the English department who is an active poet who is interested in language variation. We also thought that he would be an ideal person to welcome you this morning because his wife, Jane, is a K-12 educator in our local schools. Dr. Lazar?
Again, thank you, Catherine, and I want to begin by acknowledging and thanking my colleagues, Michael Piccone and Catherine Davies, for their outstanding work in putting together this major conference. I also, on behalf of the university's administration, want to welcome all of you to the University of Alabama. I want to underscore what Catherine said as well, and especially recognize the K-12 attendees today. I'm deeply grateful to the city and county schools for their support of this event and for your participation in it. When Catherine and Michael asked me to do the welcoming this morning, I asked, in what capacity would I be welcoming you? Proof and evidence that we're always in a linguistically specific event, incident, set of identifications. Catherine did give me permission to behave both as an administrator but also to let out the poet aspect of that linguistic identity, and it's that element that I wanted to emphasize in welcoming you today. I would also compliment my colleagues in arranging activities from Willie King to Catherine Tucker Wyndham that begin to apprise us of the richness in language and variety in this specific location. In that spirit, I wanted to read to you one brief poem and a segment of another that shows some elements of specific language residency. The first is a short poem from a recent book called Days. Fabric echoes fabrication. You're making that up. And Country Boy Eddie says, I never etymology I didn't like. The local, not dirt, but deep down in the bowels of the earth. Again, I've only lived in the South for 33 years, but have become deeply attached to that particular language soil, to the point that I would find it very painful, if not impossible, to leave. And then I want to read a concluding section to the most recent book. It's a long poem called This One, and I think the last section of the poem speaks to the situation that we occupy in this conference. Then maybe this would be it, or then again set passage, set sail among a simple group of words, the specific grit of each, not translatable, spoken by one in one circumstance. One middle-aged man, after listening to the tornado story, he looks a little stupefied, is quiet for a second or two, and then he sighs and says a single drawn-out syllable, dog, with specific regional inflection and the full force of the oddly twisted path of his own life. Each utterance potentially saturated with its own utterance. Maybe this would be it, among a simple group of words, to savor the specific grit of each. And I leave it to the linguistic experts among you to go beyond the single syllable dog to the couple of other higher versions of that, such as Dog Larry and Dog Larry Dale, which I was not able to smuggle into this particular poem. I also leave it to each of you for the rest of today and the third and final day of the conference to engage in those acts of specific savoring, analysis, and wonder. Again, thank you for being here, and I join you looking forward to a great third day. Thanks.
And now, can you hear me? Okay, and now it is my pleasure to introduce our opening plenary speaker for the day, Dr. Pam Munro. Dr. Munro received her BA in History from Stanford University and her MA and PhD in Linguistics from the University of California, San Diego. She is currently a professor of linguistics at the University of California at Los Angeles, where she teaches both graduate and undergraduate courses. Dr. Munro's research focuses mainly on the original languages of the United States and Latin America, primarily American Indian languages of the United States and indigenous languages of Mexico. She studies all aspects of their grammar, both through fieldwork with native speakers and through comparative research and analysis of existing descriptions. Dr. Munro is currently working on the Chickasaw, Lakota, Garifuna, and Gabrielino languages, among others, as well as particular varieties of Zapotec, Yavapai, and Mixtec. Her work also includes the comparative linguistics and history of the Muscovian, Uto-Aztecan, Yuman, and Zapotecan language families. Her other interests include general linguistic theory, historical linguistics, dictionary making, slang, and the Wolof language of Senegal. Munro is the author or editor of over 100 books, articles, and reviews, including Chickasaw, an Analytical Dictionary, with Catherine Willman, University of Oklahoma Press, 1984, and Studies in American Indian Languages, Description and Theory, edited with Leanne Hinton, University of California Press, 1997. An important goal of Dr. Munro's research is to make linguistic findings available to native speakers and other interested laymen through accurate, accessible, descriptive, and pedagogical materials, including dictionaries. It was with this goal in mind that we invited Dr. Munro to give our opening plenary on this day, asking her to open up the world of Native American languages of the Southeast, not only to our colleagues in other areas of linguistics, but also to our colleagues in K-12 and to interested members of the community. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Pam Munro.
Well, thank you very much, Catherine, and I want to tell you all I'm really honored to be here. I've never been in Alabama before, although I have worked on a language once spoken in Alabama for many, many years, and it's a real pleasure. So I'm going to start by telling you that among the relatively unsung heroes of the First World War are a group of code talkers who helped the American Expeditionary Force to win several battles in the Meuse-Argonne campaign in France by telephoning military information in Choctaw, an American Indian language originally spoken in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama.